Hey tribe, how are you? I felt really inspired to go live. I'm actually on the motorway on my way to Brighton, but as you guys know, I just have random intuitive guidance, and that's usually what creates the impulse for me to have a share with you because something feels important, something feels like it might be relevant to some of you and maybe all of you in the tribe. So, this share is about meditation and the importance of the discipline of meditation, and how easily sometimes we can make excuses that kind of keep us away from the practice. And it happens to all of us, but that's part of why in the Fearless Life Guide we encourage creating a meditation station. In other sort of traditions, we might call that an altar or sort of a place of sacred worship, right? So this is our place that we dedicate to our inner connection. And obviously the inner connection is to do with how we are living with our intuition, how we are communicating and listening and responding and acting upon that intuitive guidance, which really is inspired action. And ultimately, because it often goes against the logical, linear perspective, we deny ourselves the privilege, ultimately, of moving in the flow of our intuition. Really simply listening to that and living with that, right? That's living intuition. And as a step-by-step guide, that meditation is highlighted at the beginning and right bang in the middle of the course, or of the method, as it were, that it continues to be a foundation of our lifestyle. It continues to be a priority when our energy is sort of spinning out, or when things feel maybe completely out of our control. Our ability to sit in our meditation is really what helps us ride out those emotional storms and waves and triggers with greater clarity, with greater groundedness, with greater compassion, and so that we can move through the emotional storms more harmoniously, in essence. They're still intense, but we're present with the emotion rather than sort of getting wrapped up in the emotion and in this weird battle, sort of attaching our identity to the emotion and the thoughts, and getting all in a spin in that space, versus the detached perspective. And that is really based on meditation. Now some of us could probably admit that we're the type of people who have almost been meditating a lot throughout our lives, unconsciously. It's got a call. It's part of our natural state of being, almost this meditative, introspective, observing, paying attention to our frequency and our emotions and our state. And so that's why for a lot of us, the awakening might happen quite quickly, right? Like you have a few different perspective shifts and experiences, which then peel back a whole bunch of stuff really quickly, and you notice your life transforming very fast. And yet for other people, it's again why we practice non-judgment, because we really want to be able to ebb in and out of our relationship dynamics and our encounters with other human beings again more quickly if need be, or clear ourselves of energy when we're almost being forced to let go of situations or people or places, and then again continue the evolution, continue that recycling and upliftment of self. And that, again, in the simplest way, it's about how we feel. And that's the testament. Is it might take time, but continuing with the deeper commitment of transforming your emotional density and those emotional systematic patterns is what liberates us ultimately. And the more liberated you feel and become, you will it's visceral, right? It's tangible. It's not in our head, and it's not in our story. It's right in our body.